Hallelujah. source of my life. Oh God, all of the praise, honor, and adoration as He continues to shower us with His grace and His mercy. There are times in all of our lives that we ought to look up and tell God how much He means to us. How His grace and mercy continues to flow through all of our lives. Even that we are grateful. Amen. This is another Lord's Day, and we praise our God for another opportunity. Cut me up just a little bit, if you will, please. We thank Him for His grace and His mercy. We are blessed to see another Father's Day. Amen. So we celebrate all of our fathers, not only our church, but across the lands and breadth of this country. We take our hats off to all of our fathers. Continue to stand, no matter what comes your way. Continue to stand, especially when we're trying to make sense of all that's going on in our world today. Our encouragement is keep standing to all of our fathers. Amen. Cut me up. I still need somebody to cut me up a little bit more. We thank God for this opportunity that we're able to come together in this particular setting, in this particular way. God is still in the blessing business. Amen. Amen. Even with all the trouble we have going on, crisis, the chaos, God is still sitting on the throne. And He's making way for all of us as His children. And so for that, just tell Him thank you. Amen. So no matter where you are, if you're here or you're viewing this or listening to us, you ought to give God some praise no matter where you are. So thank God for going for allowing us to see another day that our eyes have never seen before. We thank God for our praise team and certainly to our musicians. We take our hats off to you as well, and we thank God for you. Listen, there is a brief word that I want to lift, and then I'll get out of your way. It is a familiar passage, the depths of the Old Testament, book of Judges, chapter 6. Book of Judges, chapter 6. I will begin reading at verse number 11. Judges, chapter 6. Beginning at verse number 11. And there you shall find these words recorded. And there came an angel of the Lord and sat under an oak, which was Ophrah, that pertained unto Joash the Abiezrite, and his son Gideon threshed wheat by the winepress to hide it from the Midianites. The angel of the Lord appeared unto him and said unto him, The Lord is with thee, thou mighty man of valor. And Gideon said unto him, O my Lord, the Lord be with us. Why then is all this befalling us? Where be all his miracles which our fathers told of us, saying, Did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt? But now the Lord hath forsaken us and delivered us to the hands of the Midianites. The Lord looked upon him and said, Go this thy might, and thou shalt save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have not I sent thee? Again, for the sake of emphasis, verse 14, the Lord looked upon him and said, Go this thy might, thou shalt save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have not I sent thee? God bless you. You may be seated even now in the presence of the Lord. I want to talk about simply from this thought, you got this. You got this.
Amen. Amen.
You got this because God gave you this. And if God gave it to you, He's already factored in how he's going to bring you through it. If God brought you to it,
Amen.
he will bring you through it. Not only will he bring you through it, God will elevate us and make us better.
Yes, he will. Yes.
God will sustain us. God will shelter us and protect us.
Amen.
While we are going through
Oh God.
our very challenging times.
Help somebody. Help.
Let me say, as I look at this text, it's very clear to us that God has a plan for us,
Pain.
even in challenging times.
My Lord.
I'll say that again because it's necessary that we understand that God has a plan for us,
Oh God.
even in challenging times.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
We must admit that you and I are not new when it comes to challenges.
Help.
And we are currently facing many challenges
My Lord.
in this world today.
My Lord.
And no doubt, those of you who are listening to me can say that in your own personal life,
Come on, Doc. Come on.
you're feeling some challenges. You're experiencing, I should say, some challenges in your life.
My Lord.
But can I tell you, brothers and sisters, that even though you're currently facing challenges, God hasn't forgotten about you.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Just because we're experiencing something tough doesn't mean God has abandoned us.
Glory.
Just because we're being stretched,
Oh God.
what we believe beyond our limitations,
Help me, Doc. Help me.
can I tell you, it's just right for the Lord.
Help me.
We must be reminded on a constant basis that God is with us, even when it seems like he's not.
Help.
Let me say that again because too often times we do forget that we're not walking in this thing by ourselves.
Amen.
That others who started off with us may have left us a long time ago.
Hallelujah.
The God we serve, who's still, might I add, sitting on the throne, is still with us.
Amen.
And
Thank
he's
you.
actively a part of our lives,
Amen.
bringing those challenges together to make us better as he continues to use us in his kingdom.
Amen.
Difficult times in which we live, difficult times in your own personal life. But here's a word of encouragement. I think somebody needs to hear, you got this.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
I'll say that again until you
Glory.
really let it marinate in your spirit.
Hallelujah.
Regardless of the challenging times we are presently in, and those challenges that we face in our own personal lives, here's a
Hallelujah.
word of encouragement. You got this.
Thank you.
Well, how do you know you got this? Well, as I said before, God gave it to you.
Oh God.
God trusted you with some trouble.
Hallelujah.
And can I tell you that on this walk, on this Christian journey, God has to be able to trust you with some trouble.
Oh God.
That every level brings new trouble. God has to be able to trust you with some trouble.
Help.
And so, as I looked at this particular text, this passage in particular, there's several things that really came to my attention that you and I need to hear, to see, and understand in this little message today, that in our own personal challenges, in the plan that God has for us, specifically for us in our own personal lives, we must understand that God is strength in our weakness.
Amen.
It's here in chapter number 6 of the book of Judges. God is strength in our own personal weakness. We must admit, I don't care how spiritual you are, I don't care how long you've been walking with the Lord. I don't care
Come on.
who you are connected to. There are times when we get weak.
Hey.
But thanks be to God, I remember hearing the old saints where I came from, where I grew up, saying that he is my leaning post. Now, I didn't understand it then growing up in church, but thanks be to God, I understand it more and more. The more I walk with the Lord, the longer I walk with him, I come to understand that there are times when I get weak. And I've learned that I can't lean and depend on people.
Come on, Doc.
People are shifty. People are shaky. People will move on.
Pastor.
But thanks be to God, we serve a God who is our leaning post, one who never gets tired, never gets weak, and never gets worn out. We can lean on in the midst of our weakness. And so, brothers and sisters, not only is the Lord's strength in the midst of our weakness, but brothers and sisters, God can raise up anybody and pull them from the most unlikely places.
Yes, he can.
Oh, brothers and sisters, no, you don't have to be rich. No, you don't have to be famous. No, everybody doesn't have to know your name. God knows how to reach and find some folk who are faithful, who are willing to follow his leadership, follow his way, follow his word. As a matter of fact, he chose you and I. And you didn't think that he could choose a person like you. You've got a history like everybody else. From the gutter, God brought you. From nothing, God brought you. And he decided to use you in his service. Can I say that again? That God will pull anybody up and use them in his service. Now, brothers and sisters, if you don't have nothing else to get excited about, you ought to get excited about the fact that God lifted you up. Matter of fact, he had you on his mind, and he gave you a task to do, even in your imperfections, even in your faults, even when you've fallen out. God has enough power to pick us up and give us a brand new start. He's strength and weakness, but God also will raise up leaders. He will raise up folk in the most unlikely places. It's right here in the text. And brothers and sisters, I've also come to understand in this text and also in my life that God will put some burdens on your shoulder, but also bless you. I'm going to say that one more time. That God will put some burdens on your shoulder. He will put some weight on your shoulder, but bless you in the midst of carrying those burdens. As a matter of fact, not only will he bless you, but he'll bless others around you. That's the kind of God we serve, that will put some weight on your shoulders, will turn around and bless you.
I know you're right. Yes, God.
And so,
God, I thank you.
His strength and weakness, God will lift up. He will raise up leaders. He will raise up folk from the most unlikely places, but then also he'll put some burdens on your shoulder and turn around and bless you. But then, brothers and sisters, right here in the text, and I can say in my own personal life, God is with us in the battle.
Yes, sir. All right. What you say?
God is with us in the battle. And all of us, from the sound of my voice, know what it feels like to experience some battles. Currently, you listen to me, can say that I'm currently in a battle right now. But can I tell you, brothers and sisters, word of encouragement, God is with us in our battles. Here's our text. The children of Israel were doing just fine until they turned their back on the Lord and they began to sin. It's right here in chapter number 6 of the book of Judges, where they went away from the Lord. And anytime you go away from the Lord, God has to punish you. God has to whoop you. God has to bring you back into the fold when we mess up. And according to the text, Israel got away from the Lord, and the Lord placed them in the hands of the Midianites 7 years.
Teach a while, teach.
And as a result of harsh treatment of the Midianites, they would take their goods and leave them with almost nothing. They would thresh wheat and allow their caravan to come and swoop up food and the resources necessary for living each and every day, left them destitute. And, oh, brothers and sisters, Israel began to cry out unto God for help. God sent a prophet, and before he blessed them, before he delivered them, he had to send a word of correction. He reminded them right here in chapter number 6, it was me who brought you out of Egypt. I'm the one who fed you. I'm the one who led you. I'm the one who took care of you. And you turn your back to me. But if you come back to me, I'll bless you. God now arrests the attention of a man by the name of Gideon, who's now in a cave, in a wine press, threshing wheat, hiding it from the Midianites. I told you earlier that they would send out folk, gather up the resources of Israel, and leave them with almost nothing. Here Gideon is in a wine press, in a cave, threshing the wheat, hiding it from the Midianites, and God shows up. Look at the challenge now that Gideon faces. He's got to hide food. He's got to hide resources from the enemy. And the way of life is terrible now for Israel. This challenge that's now on Gideon is threshing wheat. But here's the good news, brothers and sisters. And the first point that I'm going to make. And in the midst of our challenges that we face, God shows up. Can I tell you that the Lord is present in the challenges that we face? The Lord is present in the challenges that we face. He shows up, sits under a tree, calls out, "Mighty man of valor." I got a job for you to do. Can I tell you how soothing that is to know? No matter what challenge you face on today, God is present. I know that's simple, but it's powerful. That the challenge that you're currently facing today, you'll face on tomorrow, that you will face on next week, next year, God is present. And just because we're crying today, just because we're feeling the pinch and the pressure of our challenge today, does not mean God is not with us. Amen. God is ever present with us as his children. We don't have to wait to tell God thank you when he brings us through the challenge. But recognize and understand that God is still with us. And the fact of the matter is, brothers and sisters, he's with us, so that means we can talk to him. That just because we are under a cloud of trouble, and just because we're facing our own personal challenges, listen, doesn't mean we can't call on God. And somebody in here knows, brothers and sisters, that no matter what we're going through, he's just one call away. He hears and answers our prayer. So even in the midst of our challenge, he still has a listening ear. Somebody still didn't get it yet. That even in the midst of our challenges, even in the midst of our tears, even when we're tossing and turning all night, we have a God who hears us when we pray.
Yes, thank you.
He's present. He shows up now. As Gideon is facing this challenge, he's under pressure. The angel shows up, calls him a mighty man of valor. Notice he calls him a mighty man of valor, and Gideon hasn't fought not one battle.
Help.
So he lets him know that he will be victorious even before the battle has been fought. That's the kind of God we serve, who sees and knows and understands not only our current battles, but the battles we have to go through in the future. And God shows up to let him know you will be victorious. No need to worry. And that's a word for somebody today. Brothers and sisters, you don't have to worry about the battle tomorrow or next week, because God has already told us it's ours. calls him a mighty man of valor. He says, listen, got a job for you to do, but then Gideon begins to throw in some complaints. He says, no. He says, if you're really with us, then why in the world are we going through all of this? He gives, or tries rather, to give God a history lesson on what God has done for Israel.
Oh God.
He says, if God is really with us, then where is he at?
Come on now, help right here.
That we've heard some stories about how he showed up for our forefathers, our ancestors, and how he brought them through Egypt and he brought them through the wilderness. But here we are facing this problem on today. Where is God? But can I tell you, brothers and sisters, one thing he forgot, that when you sin, God has to punish us.
Help.
That some stuff, some challenges, some problems are brought on by ourselves.
Amen.
If you're at home listening to me, you ought to say amen, because sometimes we don't want to admit that we are the problem. And it was our sin who got us in this situation. But God is still with us.
Oh God.
And so he says, where's God at? We're suffering. We're going through these issues. We're going through these problems. Where is God? Matter of fact, how will God work through me to bring deliverance to his people? I'm poor and I'm the least in my family.
Come on now, help somebody.
Now, I just told you earlier that God will reach down. God will raise some folk in most unlikely places.
Way down.
Matter of fact, brothers and sisters, he had to reach way down to get you and I.
Way down.
And use us in his service. And so he calls him a mighty man of valor. He says, listen, you will be victorious. I do understand that you are currently dealing with some challenges. But here's point number 2, brothers and sisters, that not only is God present in our challenges, but God many times will show up and present new challenges. God has to be able to trust you with trouble. Let me say that one more time. God has to be able to trust you with trouble, because everybody's talking about going to the next level.
What you mean, Doc? What you mean?
But brothers and sisters, I must admit that there are times when God, even when we are currently experiencing some challenges, God shows up and presents new challenges. And sometimes we scratch our head. Well, Lord, we haven't come through this challenge yet, but can I tell you, God knows what's best for us. He knows what we can handle, because I stopped by here to tell you, it is God who's helping us keep it all together. The reason why you haven't lost your mind with all of the stuff that's being placed on our shoulders is because God is with us. The reason why you have not thrown in the white flag of surrender is because God has been keeping you all the way through. The reason why you have not left and walked away from it all is because God has been keeping you.
Preach, doctor. Preach.
So, he says the Lord is with you. God is present in our challenges, but then God shows up and presents new challenges.
My Lord.
You haven't got through the first set of challenges yet. Then come some more challenges.
Help me right here. Help me.
Can I tell you, the Lord knows you can handle it. You got this. You got this. You ought to be able to tell yourself every now and then, I got this. Not on my own strength, not by my own knowledge, not by my own might, but God's help. Can I tell you, God's help is good help.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
In the midst of
Preach,
our challenges.
Preach.
So God is present in our challenges, but then God shows up to present new challenges. He says, mighty man of valor, I'm going to operate, I'm going to coordinate, I'm going to work through you.
Paint, Doc, paint.
Bring deliverance to my people. For the position we feel inadequate for, the journey, the job, But can I tell you, God knows what he put on the inside of you. God knows what you can handle. It was the Lord who gave it to you in the first place.
Oh God, oh God.
It was the Lord who carried you in the first place.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
And God knows exactly what he's doing. You got this. You got this.
Preach a while.
But brothers and sisters, the text goes on to say, Gideon went and prepared a sacrifice, a meal rather, and brought it out to the angel. The angel reached over with his staff, set it on fire. He immediately knew that the Lord had shown up. Gideon said, listen, here's the third point. He says, I'm not fit to do this. But God says, move forward. Look at verses 15 and 16. He says, oh my Lord, how can I save Israel? I'm poor. I'm the least in my house. He says, I'm not fit to do this. But look at verse number 16. The Lord said unto him, you will. You shall smite the Midianites as one man. I wish I had a church to help me. That in the times when I feel that I'm inadequate, times I feel I'm not fit, God says, don't worry about none of that. Just move forward.
You got this.
And that's a message for somebody today. You may not feel fit for the challenges and the weight that the Lord is getting ready to give you, but I stopped by here to tell you God is with us, and he's telling us simply to move forward. God says, I got you, and I got you covered.
Come on.
He says, how can this be? He says, I'm poor.
Yeah.
The least one in my father's house.
Paint the picture.
He says, I'm not fit, but God says, don't worry about none of that. He says, move forward. There are times in our own lives we don't feel fit.
Help somebody, doctor.
But God knows exactly what he's setting you up for.
Oh God.
That even when we can't trace him, we got to trust him. That there's some challenges that's coming our way. There's some challenges we are personally engaged in today that we don't feel fit, but God says simply move forward. Move forward by faith. The last and final point, not only, brothers and sisters, God present in our challenges, not only does he show up and presents new challenges, there are times when we don't feel fit, but God says move forward. But then lastly, brothers and sisters, I can fight for the future because God gives me peace. God gives me peace. Look at what happens in the text. God tells him simply, I'm going to use you to bring victory to my people. He says, I'm not fit. I can't do it. I'm poor. I'm the least one in my father's house.
Oh God.
I can't do this. Notice Gideon kept saying, I. There are times when we get caught up saying, I can't, I don't see. God says, trust me.
Oh God. Come on, doctor.
The only way you can make it through your challenges and the challenges to come is that you lean on me.
Amen.
That you trust me to carry you through.
Come on, doctor.
God gives courage now in the face of difficult times.
Well.
Gideon builds an altar and calls it Jehovah Shalom.
Oh God. Oh God.
God is peace.
My Lord.
And that's good news, brothers and sisters. That you got this because God gives peace.
Yes, he does.
That even though the challenge still exists,
Oh God.
you're still wrestling with the challenge. God gives peace.
Oh God.
Peace.
Come on, doctor.
It's not the absence of noise. That you can have noise, you can have chaos all around, but God gives you peace. No, brothers and sisters, somebody in here knows something about that peace. that passes all understanding. Peace, like a river. Peace that goes with you when others can't understand why you still holding it together, why you're still singing, why you're still shouting, why you're still giving God praise, because he's giving us peace. And I'm able to hold things together. I like the fact that he built an altar called the place Jehovah Shalom. The Lord has shown up. The Lord has given his peace. Let me say this, brothers and sisters, I'm going to my seat. God gives us peace. Let us know that you can handle anything that comes your way. It is God who is carrying us. It is God who's making the way. It is God who's opening doors. It is God who's giving us the resources in order to move forward. Gideon said, I'm not fit for this. No, I'm barely holding it together with threshing wheat in a cave. But here you show up on the scene and give me new challenges. But here God is saying that I'm trying to move you from where you are and take you to where I'm trying to take you to. Can I tell you that whenever the Lord is trying to move us a little bit higher, there'll come more challenges, there'll come more trials and tribulations, only to prepare us for where he's trying to take us next. So whenever the floodgates open and you got problem after problem after problem, don't you complain, but you ought to give God thanks that at least he's using you for such a time as this time. And I don't know about you, brothers and sisters, but I've learned to give God thanks for whatever state I'm in. Now I understand that living in this life, the sun will not always shine. No. I understand while walking with the Lord that the rain will come. Yeah, and the lightning will flash. But through it all, I recognize that God is on the ship with me. And you ought to be able to thank God today that I'm not on the ship all by myself. No. And when the wind blows and the lightning flashes, I'll not be afraid, because his word told me that I'm with you even to the end of the world. And you ought to be able to thank God today because God's got you and you got this. And you ought to be able to look yourself in the mirror when you feel like giving up. And you ought to be able to encourage your own self by saying, I got this. It may be dark right now, and I may have tears falling down my face, but thanks be to God, he's already told me that victory is mine. And you ought to be able to thank God today that victory is already yours. Good God, man. You ought to be able to praise God today because he's already given you a preview into your victory celebration. Lord, he's the only God I know that will sit your front row and give you a preview into your own victory part. And before the victory has come to fruition, while previewing what he has for you, you can go ahead and shout right now. And I'm talking to somebody in the church house or in your living room. You ought to be able to just run around your living room and thank God for the preview. Can I get a witness in here? It has not come to pass, but he's already shown you what's coming to pass. And you can get happy by your doggone self over what he's already shown you. Good God Almighty, you ought to get excited. And others won't understand your praise, but you ought to be able to smile and say, God's got this thing. You would understand it if I told you myself. But I'm out of here now, y'all. I got to get out of time. But if you're happy and you don't care who knows it, you ought to be able to throw up your hands and shout from the top of your lungs, I got this thing. Turn around and tell somebody, I got this thing. Well, how do you know you got this thing? It's because the Lord himself showed up in my bedroom, showed up in my living room, showed up in my car, and told me, you got this thing. Yes, you will cry sometimes, but you got this thing. You'll be heartbroken sometimes, but you got this thing. Folk will walk off and leave you. You got this thing. Folk will turn their back on you, but you got this thing. Because every round, oh shucks, gets higher and higher. Every round goes a little bit higher. You ought to praise the Lord on the level that you're on right now. Because when he gets you there, you won't be all stuffy. You won't be all boastful and proud. Thinking it was by your strength that he made it there. But when you get over there, you have some sense. Giving God some praise. I'm out of here now. Wave your hand. Oh God, thank you. Thank you. You brought me over. Thank you. You brought me through. Thank you. You brought me over hills and valleys. I got this. One more time. Air high five somebody and tell a neighbor, I don't know about you, but the Lord has whispered in my ear and told me that your tears are not in vain. He told me your suffering is not in vain. He told me your ups and downs is not in vain. Because I'm trying to take you through some stuff. I'm trying to stretch you. I'm trying to show you that every circumstance, every problem, if I brought you to it, I can bring you through it. How many of us believe that today, that it was the Lord who brought me to it? It was the Lord who made a way out of no way. It was the Lord, I feel like preaching y'all. It was the Lord who stood by my side. Well, I said, well, it's time to get out of here. But if you don't mind just waving your hand, Lord, God, thank you. You've been so good. Remember, you got this.
Hallelujah.
You got this because God is with
I
us.
got
He's the Lord who provides strength in the midst of weakness. He's the Lord who gives direction. He's the Lord who is present in our
this. Hallelujah.
challenges. It is the Lord who
Hallelujah.
presents us with new
Oh
challenges.
God. Oh God. Hallelujah.
It is the Lord who gives us encouragement when we feel we're not fit.
Hallelujah.
He tells us to move forward.
You helping somebody. Hallelujah.
It is the Lord who says you can fight
Hallelujah.
as you move forward in the future because my peace
Ah,
surrounds you. It is my peace that keeps you.
Jesus.
We extend the invitation to those who don't know Christ and the pardon of their sins. You don't have to wait until you walk in the doors to accept Christ. No
Hallelujah.
matter where you are, God has fixed this thing. So no matter where we are in life, you
Hallelujah.
can come to Him and be saved. That's one of the many things I love about God. No matter what you've done, no matter what you will do,
Hallelujah.
He'll save you. And I know I'm not by myself in the house. You may be listening to us this morning. Know that He saved you. God was not always on your mind. Coming to church was not always on your mind or list of things to do, but the Lord has entered into your life.
Oh God. Oh God.
He's transformed your life. He's changed your life. Now you're satisfied. You're here today. You know Him not. You ought to accept Him. My blood is still running warm in your veins. The Lord, I'm a sinner. Forgive me of my sins. I'm sorry for what I've done. I've done wrong. I've turned down the wrong path. I believe that you died on the cross for my sins. Come into my life and save me. Open up and allow Him to come in. The Bible says He will come in. The process begins. The process is ongoing until we check out of here. He continues to work on us. Call the church if you need prayer. Call the church if you need direction. God will get us right on track. Let us pray no matter where you are. Lord, we thank you now for this day. We thank you for your loving kindness and your tender mercies. Thank you for this word of encouragement. Encouragement that we can make it. We got this. The only reason why we got it is because you're with us. And we trust you. Beyond what others may say, what others may think, we trust you. Our present challenges and our challenges in the future, we trust you. You haven't brought us this far to leave us now. You got more work for us to do. Bless us. Those who are presently in this room, those who are listening via conference call, those who are watching via social media. Bless them, their hearts, their families. We pray for churches who worship you inside or outside. We pray, God, that you will continue to bind us as a church. Remind us of our duties and responsibilities and hold us accountable as you always will to the word that you have given us. Bless our land and country. Bless those in high government officials, those positions. God, they're in your hands. So God, we trust you to do what you need to do. Help us, God, as we go through this week. We pray, God, that you continue to speak to us. Get us in a place that we can hear clearly from you. We may be found doing your will, working in your kingdom. We love you, God. We thank you. We praise you. It is in Jesus' name we pray. Let your heart say amen. God bless you. We thank and praise God for his word. We thank and praise God again for showing up. Thank and praise God for you viewing this live worship experience. We thank God for those who are listening to us on our conference call. those who are on prayer call with us this morning. We thank God for you and the continued prayers. Again, we wish all of our fathers a happy Father's Day. We celebrate fathers all over land and country. That you continue to stand, and that is our word for our fathers. Keep standing. I know this is a crazy world. I know it's tough. I know it's rough. But keep on standing. But it matters what you're standing on. And I wouldn't be too much of a preacher if I told you keep standing on sand. But we must continue to stand on Jesus Christ. Who is the solid rock? Who's the solid foundation? Don't stand on the media. Don't stand on your job, your bank account, but keep standing on Jesus Christ. Same God who got our forefathers through, same God who will get us through. And so we must continue to trust in him. Our praise team is coming at this time. They're going to sing. While they're preparing, we're going to talk about our giving. Again, we thank you so much, friendship, for being obedient to God's word first. We thank you for following leadership. And so let us not forget our obligation, our duty, our responsibility to the church in which we love, we call home, friendship. And so I thank God for those who have mailed in their tithes and offering, and those who have given via our Shelby Next app online, and those who drive by the church and drop it off. We thank God for you. To those who have not, you may do so on today. Get online. You may do so this week. We have someone here all week long. If you want to mail it in, that's fine. Remember, God honors those who are obedient. I'll say that again. God honors and blesses those who are obedient to his word. That just because this pandemic, again, has shut down a lot of things, doesn't mean it shuts down God's word.
Amen. Amen.
Although we're not here on a Sunday basis as we have been in the past, does not mean we can shun our financial obligations to the church, and I stress financial obligations.
Amen. Amen.
Again, to all of our men, this is Men's Month, and the men's ministry is asking for a $100 sacrificial gift for Men's Month. That next Sunday is supposed to be our Men's Day, but due to our current climate, our current situation, we will not have a traditional Men's Day. But the Lord blesses, and our weather is good outside. We'll add something a little special to our worship service outside to recognize our men for our Men's Month. We've got some great men here at the Friendship Missionary Baptist Church. And everybody in this room and at home ought to say amen for that. God has blessed us with some great men. I just don't say that lightly. God has blessed us with some faithful men who will give their shirts off their back. And so we're asking all men and ladies if you want to give as well. The more you give unto the Lord, I found that out a long time ago, the more the Lord will give to you. God honors faithfulness. So we ask that you give those gifts in that particular order. Our praise team is going to come and give us our closing song. We need each other. We can't make it through this pandemic without each other. Reach out and call somebody, call a member, call someone, lift them up in prayer. Those who lost loved ones, those who are falling ill, continue to lift them up. We need each other as a church family. So right where you are, go ahead and sing with us. We need each other.
I need you, you need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me, agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important. love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive.
Bless you, Lord. Lift you. Arms and heart, God, we thank you now. Be with us as we leave from this place. Go with us this week as we travel from here to there. Travel through the city. Keep us safe. Bless us now. Strengthen us until we meet again. Now unto Him who's able to keep us from falling. Present us faultless before an all-wise God, both now and forever. Every heart say amen. 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 God bless you. Go in peace. We love you.